Hey guys, good morning. There's my new Godzilla sign back there. It says Kaiju Activity Detected. Got it for my birthday. So, and by the way, if you notice me staring off screen so much, it's because I am looking at the holographic paper over there that I taped to my wall because autism demanded it. It's from my birthday tablecloth. It's holographic silver foil. The colors aren't really showing up, but it's throwing some colors, so if you see me staring, it's just visual stimming. Something kind of amazing happened at my birthday yesterday, and I want to talk about it because it was a bit of a mental health thing, and it was a good mental health thing. But I think part of why it happened is because I had seen Laura just about 2 hours before, hour and a half before, and she told me that I need to stop having Dad get into my head because how I filter so much of what I do through what would Dad think, what would Dad say, and that's not good. That's old programming, and I need to be aware of when that tape is playing and cut it. So anyway, yesterday we had my birthday party, and, Sheila is one of Dad's caregivers, and from Right at Home, it's a temporary thing until we can get in-home social support, and that's a whole can of worms I don't want to go into. But anyway, Sheila is just like Joy from Inside Out, and I told her that, and she was like, oh, she's an extrovert to the extreme. She's so much fun, and she's kind of loud but in a fun way, but she's just a ray of sunshine. And after I opened my presents and we, blew out the candles and all that stuff and cut the cake and we're dishing it out, I ate my cake, and then Sheila took her phone out and she had this like YouTube playlist of like the happy birthday song, like remixed a whole bunch of different ways, like classical, like metal, which was funny, like electronic dance music, and just an opera singer doing it, and just all these different remixes. And some of them were really, like yo yo, just really fast paced, and just you want to get up and dance because it was party music. So, after I had my cake, and I put my stuff in the kitchen, I, stood up next to the phone and I'm just starting to dance around, a little bit. And she was like, oh, girl, show me some moves. Come on. So I was like, yo. Like I went for it. I can't show you really sitting down how I was dancing, but like, I was dipping all the way to the ground, and just, I was having a fun time, I was like, and, Sheila would mirror me. So like we were dancing together and just having fun, laughing, kind of squealing, just, it was fun. So much fun. And I glanced over at my dad, sitting in his wheelchair, kind of hunched over because of the Parkinson's. So he's looking at me like, and it was not the Parkinson's mask people get. I mean, he had that hard-eyed look that he would give me when I was a kid, when he was going to tell me, you're being too wild, you need to come sit down. Because when I was at birthday parties and I would be playing just like the other kids, laughing and stuff, he would tell me I was too wild and come sit down. And then the next time I would just kind of stand to the side and he would be like, why aren't you going and having fun with them? And it's like no matter what I would do, it would be wrong. Well, in that moment, I had the little girl in me go, oh my God, I'm in trouble. And then grown up me looked down at little girl me and said, "That old jerk can't do anything to you today. It's your birthday, you dance. I'm going to stand in front of you and I'm going to dance in front of you so he can't see you, and it's going to be okay." And so I stuck my tongue out at my dad because that was the little girl going, "Meh." And I turned my back to him and I kept dancing because he couldn't do shit to me. He couldn't do shit to stop me. And I didn't let the look on his face stop me. I didn't let it scare me. I just had that moment of, and then I went, "You know what? You can't do anything to me, old man. You sit there and be a sourpuss in the corner. I'm going to have fun." Because it's like he doesn't like me to have fun unless he's the reason that I'm having fun. And then he'll let me like be loud and whatever. But if he's not the reason, he tries to stop it and stomp on it and tamp it down. But he couldn't do that to me yesterday. And I need to remember how that felt so that I can carry that forward. And I got to keep doing that. I got to keep reminding myself, you can't do shit to me, old man. You can't even stand up without 3 people holding you up. What makes you think you can tell me what to do? I mean, we're going to be stuck with all of his needs and all of his problems and stuff. But I got to stop letting him get into my head and control me. And that's like 40 plus years of his crap programming in me that I have to pull out. And the morning of my birthday, I woke up thinking, but it was Elizabeth's voice. And she was saying, "Your dad takes up so much room. Why does he take up so much room?" And I said, "Can you take up that room? Can you push him out?" And there wasn't an answer. But I am trying to let memories of Elizabeth take over what my dad has taken over. I am trying to get her to basically push him out. In my mind, I'm imagining her pushing him out. I'm just trying to imagine her just pulling weeds in my head, basically, and planting flowers. And every flower is an Elizabeth memory, and all the weeds are dad. And you can't erase the memories. But the damage, maybe she can heal it. Maybe her flowers and her butterflies and her dragonflies and her pretty things can help soften the ugly things. But yesterday was a good day. Even though I had my period and my cramps knocked me out after all the celebrating was over, I barely felt it throughout the day. But after, they really hurt. But I had a good time. I had a really good time. So, my birthday rocked.